Hey everyone, today we're going to move on to lesson 2, day 2. We're still working on powers and exponents, and our objective is the same, where we want to write fractions as decimals and decimals as fractions. So example 4 here, we're looking at the deck of a skateboard has an area of about 2 to the 5th times 7 square inches. What is the area of the skateboard deck? So the first thing we want to do is we want to expand out this power and take 2 to the 5th and write it out as 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, and then we multiply by the other factor 7. So the associative property says we can group these together, and then we multiply. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, 16 times 2 is 32, times 7, and then 32 times 7 is 224. So the area of the skateboard deck is about 224 square inches. Let's take a look at a word problem. A school basketball court has an area of 2 to the 3rd power times 3 times 5 to the 2nd power times 7 square feet. What is the area of a school basketball court? So what we want to do is we want to expand out these powers. So we've got 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 5, so 5 squared, times 7. So now we do our multiplication. So we got 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, times 3, times 5 is 25, times 7. And now we can multiply straight across. So we've got 8 times 3 is 24, 24 times 25 is 600, and 600 times 7 is 4,200, and we're talking square feet here, so we have to give it a label. So that would be feet squared. Now we're moving on to a couple examples where we're going to evaluate each expression with some substitution. So we're saying a is equal to 3 and b is equal to 5. So if we have a squared plus b to the 4th, we would have a squared. We said a is equal to 3, so that would become 3 squared, and b to the 4th, and we said b is equal to 5, so 5 to the 4th. We would write out our values. So 3 squared is 3 times 3. 5 to the 4th is 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. 3 times 3 is 9. 5 times 5 4 times is 625. And 9 plus 625 would give us a final answer of 634. In example 6, we've got a minus b in parentheses squared. Remember, a is 3, so we end up with 3 minus b, which is 5. So 3 minus 5 in parentheses squared. We do what's in the parentheses first. 3 minus 5 is negative 2, or 3 subtract 5 is negative 2. Negative 2 squared. And then negative 2 times negative 2 would end up giving us an answer of positive 4. So with these substitution problems, we just take whatever values they say the variable is equal to. A is 3, plug in 3 for A. B is 5, plug in 5 for B, and then basically evaluate the expression. So let's work on a couple more practice problems. Let's start out here with H. So H is c cubed plus d squared. And we said c is negative 4 and d is 9. So we rewrite the problem. So we've got negative 4 to the 3rd, because c is equal to negative 4, plus 9 squared, since d is equal to 9. Then we write them out. Negative 4 3 times, so negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 4, plus 9 squared, which is 9 times 9. Negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. And positive 16 times negative 4 would be negative 64. Plus 9 times 9, which is 81. Now we just follow up with negative 64 plus 81 would be equal to positive 17. So now I'd like you to try these last two problems on your own. So I'd like you to try I and J. So pause the video, try those two problems, then come back and check your answers. So for I, we've got C plus D to the third power. Remember, we substitute in -4 for C and 9 for D. That will all be to the third power. Then we just evaluate our expression. -4 plus 9 is 5. And lastly, we take 5 to the third power, which is 5 times 5 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25. And 25 times 5 is 125. So let's take a look at J. So for J, we've got D to the third minus C squared minus 2 in parentheses. So now we do our substitution. We've got D to the third, which would be 9 to the third power, minus C squared, which would be -4 squared, minus 2 in parentheses. And these parentheses are important. So now we can evaluate. We've got 9 times 9 times 9 minus -4 squared, which -4 squared would be 16, minus 2 would be 14. And now we multiply out. 9 times 9 is 81. 81 times 9 is 729. Minus 14 would be 715 for our final answer. Now, this part right here is really important. The fact that we had C squared minus 2 in parentheses, that means that this whole operation has to take place in the parentheses. So we had C squared, which was -4 squared, which gave us positive 16, minus 2. We have our minus 2 here, so 16 minus 2 would be 14. If we did not do these using the parentheses to group this operation together, we could get a totally different answer. So we have to be careful and realize that those parentheses tell us in what order we need to do our operation. So once again, our final answer was 715. So your assignment for today is page 19, number 7 through 12. Once again, just please use the assignment checklist as a reminder on what you need to do and in what order. And then finally, always make sure to turn your work into Canvas.